guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy from Rebel Nutrition. If you are new around here, I am actually in Paris right now. I do not live in Paris, but I'm on a vacation in Paris, and I was in Italy, and it's been almost a month since I've been traveling. And to be honest, I love traveling. I'm so grateful that I get to do this as part of my job and to show you guys, but I also I'm so ready to get back in the groove of working. So I'm taking today to make some videos, make some content, because I crave it if I haven't been working for a while. So this video has been a long time coming, and if you're here and you subscribe to my channel, which you totally should if you haven't already, you probably found me from the video of mine that I made that went totally viral that I was not expecting about melasma. So today's video is going to be all about my AM skincare routine for preventing melasma. I've done a lot of videos about melasma in the past, and for those of you who don't know, melasma or hyperpigmentation is basically like a darkening of the skin. Side note, I went to the dermatologist recently and she said that what I had actually wasn't melasma. It's just sun damage from when I lived in Hawaii and was a real dumbass and never wore sunscreen or a hat. So that's what I'm kind of still trying to get rid of. And obviously I have makeup on right now so you can't really see it, but maybe you can a little bit. I do have some darkening above my upper lip and then mostly on my cheeks. So nowadays, especially since turning 30, I'm much more aware of staying out of the sun and sunscreen and things like that. But I wanted to show you guys my morning skincare routine, and just FYI, it is a little bit intense. I use a lot of products, so don't feel like you need to be using every single one of them. I will kind of tell you which ones I think are the most important for preventing melasma, and then you can kind of, pick and choose which ones work for you. Okay, so starting with the cleanser that I use, and as you guys have probably heard me talk about before, I'm not super particular with the cleanser that I use. I probably should care a little bit more. Usually I just use Dr. Bronner's to wash all my makeup off, and then sometimes I'll use a makeup wipe or something like that. But what I have been using a few times a week for exfoliation is the Kate Somerville Exfoliate. I actually just bought this little mini one from Sephora because I wanted to try it out. It's not inexpensive. I think it was maybe $20 for this tiny little thing, but I've heard that it's really amazing, and you definitely want to have a good exfoliator, a physical exfoliator, something like this, a couple times a week to get rid of those dead skin cells. That really helps with cell turnover and helping prevent any darkening, or even just when your skin feels a little bit rough, that can really help with that. So I've been loving this. I've been using it a few times a week. I'm probably going to get the full-sized one. And just keep in mind, it can be a little bit intense. I think they actually have one for sensitive skin as well. It's fine for me, but my skin isn't super sensitive. And also FYI, you guys, I'm gonna link to everything that I'm mentioning in this video in the description below. So if you wanna check any of these links out, I will link to everything, don't worry. Okay, up next, and this one is actually totally not necessary. It doesn't really help prevent dark spots, but it does kind of help mask them. And so obviously, I'm not ever out in the sun anymore, at least not without SPF or a hat on. So this is kind of a gradual self tanner. It's called Tan Luxe Super Glow. I'll maybe put it up so you can see. I also got this from Sephora. It came recommended to me highly because I was looking for something to give me a little bit of a bronze, since I never get my face in the sun anymore and I was looking very pale, because it's a hyaluronic self-tan serum. So it's actually anti-aging and it gradually makes you tanner, but it doesn't appear orange at all, and you can slowly increase the level of tan over time. So I just use this after I wash my face. I use this first thing a couple times a week on a completely dry face, and I just kind of put a couple drops, I rub it in, and I let it dry before I do the rest of my skincare routine. And it's pretty awesome. It's not streaky, it's not orange, it doesn't smell bad, and you can slowly build your level of tan over time, which is really awesome. And that does help disguise any dark spots. It kind of blends the color of your skin together, so nothing's really standing out, if that makes sense. Up next, even though that product I just showed you what also is an anti-aging hyaluronic acid serum, I do use another hyaluronic acid from Sephora. This is just the Sephora brand, Hyaluronic Acid, and I think it's kind of like a hyaluronic acid slash cream or like lotion together in one, because usually hyaluronic acid is more of just like a serum. This I feel like is pretty moisturizing. My sister has oily skin, and she said that this was actually too moisturizing for her. I have drier skin, so I really love this. Anything hyaluronic acid, and you guys, this is really cheap too. I think this is like $8, so highly recommend, but anything with hyaluronic acid you want to actually put on very first. I learned this from my esthetician. She said put hyaluronic acid on first because it actually helps absorb whatever else you put on top of it. So again, this is not really specific to melasma. It's just specific to like having that healthy dewy glow that we all want, right? Okay. Next up, I'm obsessed with this, and this is really specific to melasma. If you have melasma, hyperpigmentation, any sort of dark spots, or you just want to prevent them from happening, this is the Drunk Elephant C Day Serum, C Firma Day Serum. And it's 15% ascorbic acid, which basically is like pure vitamin C. So anything vitamin C is really, really helpful for getting rid of dark spots and like kind of naturally lightening up dark spots, melasma, and breaking up that pigmentation. It also, I heard that having a vitamin C serum is really important before you go out in the sun, because instead of having the sun oxidize your skin and turn it brown and like create those brown spots, it's actually going to oxidize the vitamin C. So this kind of acts as like a barrier to your skin before the sun penetrates and darkens your skin, if that makes sense. I really, really love this. Again, this one is not inexpensive. I think this Drunk Elephant C Firma Day Serum is about $80. I will link to it below so you can check it out. I got it at Sephora, but I have found it to really, really work. I love it. Definitely worth it. And you could always like just use a tiny bit of it. I've been using this morning and night. So I'm also going to be making a PM nightly routine video to tell you all about that. I actually do use this at night too, but if you wanted to stretch it and make it go longer, you could probably just use it like in the morning so that you're protected throughout the day. Okay, next up is the Beautycounter Counter Time Antioxidant Soft Cream. Now, this product would be totally unnecessary if you had oily skin, I think, based on everything else I've already told you, because again, this is a lot of steps. I have pretty dry skin, so I'm able to do quite a few layers of moisture. This is another layer of moisture. It's a soft cream antioxidant, and it actually has the ingredient in this cream. It's called like bakuchiol or something. I have no idea if that's actually how you pronounce it, but I'll put it on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. It's kind of like a natural alternative to retinol, and retinol is like the most powerful anti-aging ingredient there is. It really helps with cell turnover. It helps with hyperpigmentation, dark spots, melasma. So I love that this is kind of like a non-toxic, more natural version of that, but this is really just acts as like a moisturizer. So again, if you had oily skin, you probably wouldn't need this, but I've really been loving this, and I will link to it below if you want to check it out. And just side note, you guys, you probably know that I do sell Beautycounter, but you can see by the wide array of products that I'm using, I'm really not married to it. I try a lot of things from their line, but I really only talk about stuff that I actually like. The Counter Time collection, which is their new anti-aging line, is one of my favorites at this point. To be completely transparent, I really don't use a lot of Beautycounter stuff, but I got sold by the pink packaging and I tried it out because I do love anything anti-aging as well, and I'm really, really obsessed. I really, really love it. So I will link to that below. Okay, next up, and this one is very specific to preventing dark spots and hyperpigmentation and melasma, and it is the Dr. Dennis Gross Dark Spot Sun Defense Sunscreen SPF 50. I love this sunscreen, and I'll tell you why for a few different reasons. Number one, I have weird skin, and even though it's dry, I do tend to break out sometimes. So with this, I haven't noticed any breakouts. So that's pro number one from this sunscreen. Pro number two is that it also has vitamin C in it. So like I said before, I use a vitamin C serum, but it's just one, this is specific for preventing dark spots. So it just kind of gives that extra kick of vitamin C to prevent the dark spots. Pro number three, it's SPF 50 and broad spectrum. So it's really protective of different types of sun rays, and it's going to be really strong. So if you're only using like an SPF 15 and it's mixed in with your foundation right now or something like that, I would do something stronger, especially if you're trying to get rid of dark spots, because for a while I was using tinted moisturizer that just had like an SPF 15 in it, and like, yes, of course that's better than nothing, but I would say definitely go for the SPF 50, and you want to be reapplying it a couple times a day if you're out in the sun. Pro number 4, a reason why I like this, is that it doesn't have oh god, I always forget the names. The 2 ingredients that you'll find in a lot of sunscreens that start with oxy. I think it's oxybenzenate and oxy something C. Those, I sound really educated right now. Those are the ones that damage the coral reef, so you definitely never want to be wearing those in the ocean, number 1. And number 2, those ingredients, I was told by my holistic esthetician, actually like can actually like cause more darkening of already pre-existing dark spots. So you really, really want to avoid them. And I will just say too, I've really noticed this when I was living in Hawaii. I had some SPF 50 sunscreen. I thought I was being like so careful, and it was both of the oxys in it. And so I would like intensely spray my face every day before, this is when I did start caring about my dark spots, before I would go for a walk. And every day I would come back and I was like, why are my dark spots getting worse, even though I'm being so careful about my sunscreen? And as soon as I switched sunscreens, it made a huge difference. So definitely look at the ingredients in your sunscreen. I really, really love this one. And it doesn't leave your face white, which I've noticed with a lot of zinc sunscreens, it does that. So it's really nice and light, and I wear makeup over it and you can't tell. Okay, last but not least, this one is not really so much for the prevention of dark spots, but it's more for covering them. And I am freaking obsessed with this product, you guys. So I have to admit, the reason that I ended up buying this was because I saw these commercials on every time I was watching Hulu for Charlotte Tilbury, and I really liked them. I was like, these are really good commercials. And also, what I liked about them, this is completely just a tangent, but how she was showing in the commercials, like, people's skin, like, that weren't just like models with perfect skin. They were people that had like a lot of acne or dark spots or wrinkles, things like that. She was showing people that looked like real people, and then she was showing what they looked like after putting on her airbrush foundation, and I was like, that shit looks like it really works. Like, I want to try that out. And luckily in LA there's a whole Charlotte Tilbury store, which is like absolute heaven. I love it. So I tried it out. The key too is that I had somebody match the color to my skin, because I always have trouble with that, and they did a really, really good job. So this is the Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. And you guys, I am obsessed with this. It works so well. If you get the color that like completely matches your skin tone, it looks like your skin is airbrushed. I mean, I think that it's probably the best my skin has ever looked right now. I mean, I know that's like tooting my own horn, but compared to what it used to look like, which maybe I'll insert a picture, even when I tried to put on like tinted moisturizer or foundations or things like that, my skin still looked so red. So maybe I'll also have to show you kind of what my skin looks like naturally now without any makeup. I totally don't mind doing videos without makeup on, but I did a photo shoot this morning, so I had makeup on, so I was like, well, whatever, I'm just gonna leave it this way. But highly recommend if you do have acne, dark spots, wrinkles, anything that you want to kind of cover, but not look like caked on, I highly recommend this. Okay, and one little like bonus thing that I just thought I'd throw in here, because sometimes when I wake up early in the morning and I haven't like gua sha'd or like really woken up yet, I'm a little bit puffy, especially under my eyes, and I love these little gel, I don't know if they're called gel pads, I don't really know what they're called, but they're pink and I liked them. I got them from Amazon. Normally I keep them in the refrigerator, and then I will put them under my eyes like before I do my whole like 27-step process, and it really helps bring down the puffiness. So I highly recommend these. I love them. They're pretty inexpensive, so I will link to them below. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my AM skincare routine. I know it was a lot of steps, but you don't have to do all of those things. I think the most important things would be the vitamin C serum, the sunscreen, and then probably if you want to just cover any dark spots that you have, the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. Again, like, there's nothing wrong with having dark spots. It happens. Like, a lot of us have them. It's not that big of a deal. I just personally feel a lot more confident having smooth, clear skin. And I know that that's probably true for a lot of people. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you want to see more from me about. Do you want more skincare tips? Do you want more melasma, hyperpigmentation tips? Do you want me to go try more treatments? Do you want me to tell you about Botox? Like, what do you guys want? Let me know. Come follow me at Rebelle Nutrition on Instagram. I will be checking the comments more often than I have been. But if you have a specific question and you really want to make sure you get an answer, come over to Rebelle Nutrition on Instagram and DM me on there, because I always respond to your guys' questions. And thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit the red subscribe button, either there or there, I'm not really sure. And I will be back soon with my PM skincare routine. Bye.